Hey guys, welcome to Life Lessons with Dad from Working Dad Notebook. One of the things I've been asked a lot is about work-life balance. It's a difficult question, not really a good answer. But what I have found that has been successful in both my marriage, my life in general, but also as a manager, as a leader, as a director, whatever quantifier you want to put in there, what I have found is that I divide my life into priorities, and those priorities get different weighted efforts behind them. Now, I say my number one priority is family, because regardless of when I'm out of the military or when I'm out of whatever job I'm in, my family's going to be there, hopefully. Um, if I do everything right, they'll be there. So I need to give them my number one priority. So I give them 30% of my time, period. Hard stop, non-starter beyond that. 70% of my time is then based off things that are what we would call shaping efforts or supporting efforts for my decisive operation, my direct or operation, my primary effort, which is my family. So that is where I'm going to divide things between my professional development, professional career. I'm going to do education. I'm going to do shaping efforts such as like doing the laundry, getting my wife's oil changed, putting a new battery in her car, vacuuming and shampooing my son's carpet or his car seat. Doesn't matter. Those are all the different things that fall into the supporting of my primary effort, which is my family. I've found that to be very successful for me. That's a good kind of mesh. Some relationships will need more, some might need less. That's what mine needs. In order for me to maintain the family I have, the relationship I have, the level of security and comfort and just, happiness that works for me and my family, is I need to give them 30% of my time. Non-negotiable. Now, there are seasons of life where your supporting efforts, they really want to creep in on that 30%. And it's easy to justify. As an example, I might be forward deployed to name a country. I'm not physically there with my family, so how do you give them 30% of your time? Well, you give them 30% of your presence. Whether that is a FaceTime, whether we're on a video chat through Signal or WhatsApp or FaceTime, pick your poison. I'm there. I'm there when they wake up. I'm there at lunch. I'm there when they go to bed, right? I'm reading a book over FaceTime to my son to go to sleep. Non-negotiable. Doesn't matter who it is. It's non-negotiable because you establish it as your priority. What that does is it is freeing, because number one, it tells you what you're going to do, and it helps kind of dictate the terms of your day. But also what it does is it helps kind of give you guidelines for your intent on how you want to finish what you're doing right now. And it gives you a clear end state. Now, your end state is going to be dictated by certain things. How you want your friendlies, being it people who you care about, how you want them to end up at the end of whatever you're talking about, whether it's a duration of time or operation or, whatever it may be, right? And then you're going to have your enemies. Now, your enemies might be people, they might be things, they might be concepts or ideas. And it could be debt. It could be the job you're in if you're very unlucky. It could be a whole host of things or reasons. But ultimately, that's going to be what are the conditions that are present at the end of what you're doing on them. And if it's, I'm going to cut, 50% of my debt. Cool, good on you. It's a great goal. Make sure it's feasible, smart, all of that. And I can go on to that later. But, that's one thing. And then the other end state is going to be I'm trying to make this in civilian terms, but kind of your atmospherics, your situation around you, the environment around you. And so what does that look like? Whether that's a place, a person, an idea, a thing, doesn't matter. You establish those. And so what you do is that when I'm giving 30% of my time to my family and 70% 70% of my time to supporting efforts, it's all shaping my end state and my intent. Functionally, how does that look? Let me give you a vignette. So the vignette is very simple. I work a job where that job on paper says I'm there 9 to 5. In reality, I'm there 5 to 9 or 4 to 10. Welcome to life. 4 to 10, right? Okay, 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. I have a 13-month-old son. How often do you think I'm going to see a 13-month-old conscious if I'm leaving the house at 3:30 in the morning so I can be work at 4 and I'm getting home at 10:30 because I left work at 10? The answer is never. So, how do you adjust? I can't necessarily turn work off because then I would not get a paycheck. My family wouldn't be financially secure. I might be in legal trouble. There's things that come with that. So what do? Well, at lunchtime, non-negotiable. I'm taking 45 minutes. I'm FaceTiming my son. It's non-negotiable. And I'm FaceTiming my wife. I spend 5-10 minutes with the baby because that's all his attention span will really take. And we're talking on the phone. And he knows Dad's calling him, and we establish a routine. I do the same thing with my wife. In the morning, when he wakes up, before he goes to daycare, school, whatever you want to call it, we're FaceTiming. We're talking. We're signal chat, whatever you use. We're talking. He sees me. He knows I care. When he gets home from school, Mom picks up her phone. She calls me. We have a set time. We talk. Non-negotiable. There's no one on this earth that's going to get in between me and getting on that phone, because that is how you're present when you're not physically present, right? Technology is amazing. And that's how you get that 30%, right? And everything else shapes ultimately your goals and your family and all of that. I'm very long-winded here. I did not expect this to be 7+ minutes, but I think it's important. Ultimately, at the end of the day, what you have to do is you have to establish your priorities. You have to rack and stack your priorities based off of what you want to end with when whatever you're doing ends, because it will. Your family will be there, your job won't. And at the end of the day, if you were 6 feet under, if you were in a hole that was 6 feet deep, 6 feet long, and 3 foot wide, someone would be in your seat tomorrow at your job. Your family's going to cry for 2 weeks. Keep that in mind. Not to be morbid, just to be real. So make sure you put your priority in line with the people that are going to cry when you die. Fair enough. I will try to find a way to make this shorter. I will do many more of these. But at the end of the day, this is a family channel. I try to keep things at, family level. But talking to fathers, but also mothers out there, professional, boss girls, all of that, good on you. At the end of the day, find a way to give your family 30% of your time. Non-negotiable. All right, well, these are the first cut at life lessons with Working Dad Notebook. We'll see what happens from here. Have a good night. See you guys. Bye.